across the immense plains of South Sudan, where the horizon stretches endlessly and the land carries the weight of ancient history in every crack of dry earth, one of Africa's most powerful natural dramas unfolds. This is a realm where survival is earned through speed, awareness, and resolve, a wild stage where every creature must struggle relentlessly to secure its place in the days ahead. Here, beneath a relentless sun and open skies, predators refine their tactics while prey sharpen their senses, knowing that a single misjudgment can mean the end. The savannas of South Sudan offer no refuge. Hunger, thirst, rivalry, and sudden encounters are not exceptions, but part of daily existence in this unforgiving landscape. Yet within this constant struggle lies an extraordinary natural phenomenon. South Sudan hosts one of the largest wildlife migrations on the African continent. Each year, millions of animals move across these plains, forming living currents that flow in search of grass, water, and the promise of survival. It is a journey that shapes destiny's testing endurance, separating the resilient from the vulnerable, and adding new chapters to nature's never-ending story of life in motion. At the heart of this expedition lie two remarkable landscapes. Little known beyond the scientific world, Boma National Park and Bandingilo National Park. Within these remote regions, more than 1 million wild animals move together along a shared natural corridor, forming an unbroken flow that has continued for generations. Among them stands an extraordinary sight: the vast herds of white-eared kob, numbering over 700,000 individuals, representing one of the largest gatherings of antelope anywhere on Earth. Unlike migrations governed by strict seasonal calendars, the Great Nile migration follows a far more fluid rhythm. Its timing is shaped by rainfall patterns and the rise and fall of the White Nile. When the first rains arrive, the river spills across the lowlands, flooding the southern plains and transforming the landscape into a vast reflective expanse where sky and earth seem to merge. As the waters recede, a fresh layer of tender grass emerges, soft, nutrient-rich, and irresistible, drawing the antelope back once more in search of nourishment. The herds move southeastward toward one of the last remaining frontiers of untouched grassland. This ancient savanna stretches unbroken by human development, a rare wilderness where natural processes still dominate. spanning nearly 40,000 square kilometers. It remains free of fences, paved roads, and the noise of the modern world, a sanctuary where nature continues to set the rules. While the Serengeti migration has become a global symbol of wildlife tourism, captured from every possible angle, the journey of the white-eared kob in South Sudan remains largely unseen. In a region increasingly vulnerable to climate change, the South Sudan grasslands endure as a living ecosystem, sustained by the delicate balance of the White Nile, a vast, life-giving artery that governs growth, movement, and survival for every species that depends upon it. The warm sun of South Sudan drapes itself gently over the tall grasses of the savannah. Every sense of the impala mother is fully engaged. Her body is taut with awareness. Ears pivot like finely tuned receivers, capturing the faintest sound, while flared nostrils read the invisible signals carried on the wind. At her side, a newborn calf takes its first uncertain steps into an unfamiliar world. The young impala's coat still glistens with the trace of birth. For now, its mother's presence is everything: shelter, warmth, and reassurance within an immense and unpredictable landscape. Patiently, the mother remains still, allowing her calf to learn the feel of the earth beneath unsteady legs. Within days, those fragile limbs will grow stronger, preparing the calf for its first burst of speed. But today, danger lies close. Hidden among scattered shrubs, a lioness waits, motionless, her gaze fixed on the smallest movement of the young impala. The predator's body is coiled like a spring. Every muscle is poised, the world narrowing to a single point of focus. At that critical moment, the impala mother makes a deliberate choice. She darts away in the opposite direction, drawing attention to herself and becoming the distraction. The risk is total, a calculated sacrifice made to shield her vulnerable offspring. For the briefest instant, The lioness shifts her focus. That moment is enough. The calf remains unharmed, untouched by the threat. For it, the hunt ends before it truly begins. Life carries on, even as the predator's eyes sweep the horizon once more, searching for another chance. Her own cubs are waiting, and hunger will soon drive her forward again. From the heart of the wetlands, home to more than 1 million migratory animals moving in rhythm with the seasons, an absence can be felt. One of Africa's most agile and highly coordinated predators is missing, the African wild dog. Its disappearance has left a profound gap in the balance of the ecosystem. In the past, these packs once moved freely through mud and reed beds taller than a human, carrying out group hunts with remarkable precision. Their success was the result of a biology refined over millions of years. Measuring between 1 and 1.5 meters in length and weighing just 18 to 36 kilograms. They are smaller than lions and more lightly built than leopards. Yet their muscular structure, especially in the shoulders and hind legs, makes them extraordinary athletes, built for endurance rather than brute strength. Their long limbs, supported by strong joints, are designed not for leaping but for covering vast distances. A flexible spine, efficient lungs, a powerful heart, and a deep chest allow them to sustain speeds of up to 48 kilometers per hour for several minutes at a time. They lack the crushing bite or sharp claws of big cats, but their evenly spaced, razor-like teeth are perfectly suited for tearing flesh quickly. Large ears serve a dual purpose, releasing excess heat and acting as sensitive receivers, picking up signals from pack members even in dense vegetation. Every hunt is a demonstration of cooperation and stamina. African wild dogs target the young, the old, or the weakened within herds of impala, cob, or gazelle. Rather than overpowering prey, they rely on relentless pursuit. Each member plays a role. Leaders steer the chase, others cut off escape routes, and the strongest close in from behind until the prey can no longer continue. This method, known as exhaustion hunting, depends entirely on teamwork and persistence. Under the intense sun, after the initial sprint where the prey runs at full speed, fatigue begins to take hold. Breathing becomes labored, movement slows. That is when the pack moves in, delivering coordinated bites to bring the chase to an end. From the first signs of exhaustion to the final moment, the process may last only a few minutes. One of the most remarkable traits of these canids is their collective decision-making. Hunts do not begin until consensus is reached. Researchers have documented a behavior known as a sneezing vote, in which each sneeze signals readiness. Once enough individuals participate, the pack sets off. This system contributes to their exceptional hunting success rate, estimated between 60 and 90%, far higher than that of any large feline in the region. Even feeding reflects their social structure. Pups and weaker members eat first, while adults later regurgitate food for those left behind. Survival here is sustained not by dominance, but by cooperation and discipline. In landscapes shaped by constant movement, wild dogs function like the pendulum of a clock, helping regulate the rhythm of life. Today, however, their future is uncertain. Global wild populations are estimated at only 6,000 to 600 individuals a month, with a very small number of mature adults. In the southern wetlands, recovery may already be out of reach. Recent surveys and migration maps show no signs of hunting packs in the upper marshlands. Perhaps this land has grown too quiet for a species that depends on space, communication, and constant motion. Even so, the legacy of the African wild dog remains a powerful testament to survival under extreme conditions. Their disappearance is not only a biological loss, but a quiet warning. When humanity neglects its responsibility to protect the natural world, the delicate harmony between species is broken like a timeless song cut short before its final note. In the regions where the Nile dissolves into a vast maze of endless swamps, and the air hangs heavy with humidity, an ancient giant emerges, the hippopotamus. Massive, rough-skinned, and seemingly forged from the river itself, it carries a primal strength refined over millions of years. Among the world's surviving semi-aquatic mammals, few inspire the same sense of power. Its evolutionary roots trace back to an ancient lineage shared with whales, creatures that once returned from the oceans to walk on land. One branch remained bound to wetlands, giving rise to the modern hippopotamus. Its body still reflects this distant past, a broad, barrel-shaped torso. Short yet incredibly powerful limbs and skin nearly 4 centimeters thick. Lacking true sweat glands, the hippo secretes a reddish fluid that resembles blood but is actually a natural blend of acids. This remarkable substance serves as both a sunblock and an antibacterial defense, protecting the animal from harsh sunlight and infection. A fully grown male can weigh up to 1/600 kilograms and stretch close to 5 meters in length. Its lower tusks, which may grow beyond half a meter, never stop growing and are used solely in combat. Although hippos are not ruminants and lack a specialized fermentation stomach, they can consume more than 40 kilograms of grass in a single night. During the day, they remain almost motionless beneath the water's surface to escape the heat. When night falls, they rise silently and move inland to graze. Hippos live in small social groups known as pods, usually numbering between 5 and 30 individuals. Each lagoon or calm river bend is dominated by a single male. Rather than defending territory itself, he controls access to females. Conflicts between rival males can be brutal, with tusks transforming from warning displays into lethal weapons capable of tearing flesh and crushing bone. Some encounters end in death. Few people realize that this colossal herbivore is not entirely plant-based. Under extreme conditions, hippos have been observed scavenging and even consuming meat, including the remains of their own species. While rare, this behavior reveals the species' capacity to adapt during periods of severe drought or food scarcity. With the arrival of seasonal rains, the river swells, fish populations surge, vegetation bursts into life, and migratory birds fill the skies. Within this cycle, the hippopotamus acts as a silent engineer of the wetlands. Its grazing and waste transport nutrients between grasslands and freshwater systems, rich in phosphorus and nitrogen. Hippo dung fuels microorganisms and algae that form the foundation of aquatic food webs, supporting fish, wading birds, and countless other species. By carving pathways with its immense body, the hippo also creates access to water for antelope, warthogs, and even human communities during the dry season. Despite its crucial ecological role, the hippopotamus now faces increasing pressure. Agricultural expansion, illegal fishing practices, and above all, poaching for its tusks, often used as substitutes for ivory, have pushed the species into a vulnerable state. According to the most recent IUCN assessment in 2024, the hippopotamus is officially classified as vulnerable, with its largest remaining population surviving quietly beneath the surface of the rivers that still protect them. Under the unforgiving sun, hippopotamuses snort and exhale powerful jets of water that rise like living fountains, their deep bellows echoing through the river channel like the engines of massive machines. Yet across the current, something far quieter and far deadlier remains concealed beneath the opaque water. Lurking unseen is the Nile crocodile, a predator that has ruled these waters since time beyond memory. This reptile is a living archive of the river itself, a shadow of deep history once carved into ancient stone as Sobek, the god of water, fertility, and protector of the pharaohs. Its lineage stretches back more than 55 million years. descending directly from reptiles that survived the mass extinction which erased the dinosaurs. Today, the Nile crocodile occupies waterways across 26 African nations. Its strongest populations are found in Eastern Africa, from Egypt through South Sudan and into Uganda. In places such as Murchison Falls National Park, where the Nile is forced through a narrow rocky gorge, individuals exceeding 5 meters in length and weighing over 1,000 kilograms have been documented. One of the crocodile's most remarkable adaptations is its mastery of body temperature. When water temperatures rise above 34 degrees Celsius, it retreats into shade or coats itself in wet mud to cool down. When conditions turn cooler, it lies motionless on sunlit banks, absorbing heat like a living stone. Beneath the water's surface, only its eyes and nostrils remain visible small, unblinking points among reeds and roots. Its body becomes almost perfectly still, and its heart rate can slow to fewer than 3 beats per minute. In this state, it can wait for hours, sometimes days, until prey makes a single fatal mistake. The crocodile does not pursue its victims. Instead, it positions itself where animals have no choice but to come close: riverbanks, shrinking rain pools, or swamps that retain moisture during the dry season. When a target moves within 2 meters, the strike is instantaneous. Its jaws unleash one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom, delivering between 3,000 and 5,000 tsamamoasa, greater than any other land-based predator. The initial strike usually targets the neck or limbs, immobilizing the victim. What follows is even more devastating: the death roll. In a violent spinning motion, the crocodile twists its body with immense force, tearing flesh, snapping bones, and dismantling prey as large as adult antelope or even buffalo. Once submerged, the method shifts to suffocation. After the first bite, the crocodile drags its prey into deep water or holds it beneath the surface until resistance fades. if the animal is too large to consume immediately. The crocodile secures the carcass in a quiet pool, wedged beneath rocks or vegetation. There, natural decomposition softens the flesh, allowing the predator to return and feed over several days. Yet despite being one of Africa's most formidable hunters, the Nile crocodile shares an unexpected and almost symbolic relationship with a much smaller creature, the Egyptian plover. This striking bird, recognized by its bold black and white plumage, inhabits the great rivers of eastern Africa and the highlands where the Nile begins its long journey north. On rare occasions, observers have witnessed a scene that feels lifted from ancient legend. A crocodile lies motionless along the riverbank, jaws stretched wide, resembling a fallen log split open by time. With remarkable calm, the plover descends, perches along the edge of the massive jaws, and delicately steps inside the reptile's mouth. There, it pecks at scraps of trapped food, parasites, and decaying tissue lodged between the teeth, a natural form of maintenance carried out in an atmosphere of astonishing trust. While science has yet to confirm that this interaction occurs consistently across all regions where both species coexist, many ecologists believe it reflects a subtle form of cooperation rarely acknowledged in the wild. Even between a supreme predator and a fragile bird, an unspoken understanding may exist, proof that nature's balance is built not only on conflict, but occasionally on quiet alliances. There, suspended between open sky and mirrored water, stands the motionless silhouette of the shoebill, an architect of lethal silence, and a striking example of how instinct and evolution converge into a singular form. Despite its common name, the whale-headed stork is not a true stork at all. Modern genetic research reveals that it is more closely related to pelicans than to traditional storks. Towering at nearly 1.5 meters tall, with a wingspan that can exceed 2.5 meters. The shoebill commands attention, yet its most defining feature is its extraordinary bill, broad and heavy, and unmistakable. Measuring roughly 25 centimeters in length and more than 12 centimeters across, and ending in a sharp, hook-like tip, it functions as a precision weapon, capable of ending a hunt in a single decisive strike. The shoebill is a master of patience. It can remain perfectly still for 4 to 5 hours, conserving energy and blending seamlessly into the wetland landscape. When a longfish, catfish, or other prey rises toward the surface, the bird explodes into action. Its massive bill slams downward with remarkable speed and force, often crushing the spine of its victim instantly, an efficient and deadly conclusion to one of nature's quietest hunts. Rather than relying on speed or coordinated chases like many predators, the Sitatunga survives through patience and precision. It moves with slow, deliberate steps across soft mud, where every blade of grass and gentle ripple of water becomes a silent ally. The flooded wetlands themselves serve as natural camouflage, shielding this elusive antelope and allowing it to exist quietly yet confidently. Its long, wide hooves, reaching up to 18 centimeters in length, are perfectly adapted to spread its weight, preventing it from sinking into waterlogged ground. Adult males stand between 81 and 100 centimeters at the shoulder, with a body length of up to 160 centimeters and a weight ranging from 76 to 90 kilograms. Females are noticeably smaller, measuring around 70 to 80 centimeters in height and weighing between 24 and 45 kilograms. Their coats are a rich, deep brown that darkens with age, marked by pale white stripes that shimmer like reflections dancing across the dark surface of swamp water. The Sitatunga feeds on a remarkably varied diet, consuming more than 40 species of plants. Tender grasses, fresh shoots, and aquatic vegetation such as cattails and sedges form the core of its nutrition, helping maintain balance within wetland ecosystems. Yet despite its specialization, the Sitatunga remains an integral part of the food chain, falling prey to lions, leopards, crocodiles, and African wild dogs. When danger approaches, its response is not a frantic escape. Instead, the Sitatunga slips soundlessly into the water. Only its nostrils and eyes remain above the surface like two small pearls floating in the swamp before it vanishes completely into the wetlands, leaving no trace behind. While the Savannah of South Sudan still bears the invisible signatures of predators below, the sky suddenly fills with a sharp, unmistakable sound. It is neither thunder nor wind, but a clear, ringing cry that cuts through the humid air of the wetlands, the call of the African fish eagle. Powerful, resonant, and unmistakable. This voice has become one of the most iconic sounds of the African wilderness, announcing its presence long before the bird itself is seen. With a wingspan that can stretch up to 2.4 meters, a body length of 63 to 75 centimeters, and a weight ranging from 2 to 4.4 kilograms, the African fish eagle needs no extravagant plumage to command respect. Its mere silhouette is enough to draw attention across the landscape. A bright white head and chest form a striking crown against the deep brown of its wings and body, blending seamlessly with riverbanks and marsh vegetation. Beneath this regal appearance, piercing yellow eyes remain fixed on the water below, scanning for the slightest movement. Perched high on overhanging branches or resting on exposed river islands, the fish eagle waits in absolute stillness. The moment a disturbance ripples across the surface, it launches into a swift, controlled dive. Its range extends across nearly all of Africa wherever open water exists. The fish eagle is rarely far away. Though it does not undertake long migrations, it adjusts its position with the seasons, shifting toward river centers during floods and returning to the shallows as water levels recede and prey becomes more accessible. Its hunting technique is a balance of patience and explosive precision. Armed with powerful curved talons, the eagle can lift fish weighing up to 4.2 kilograms straight from the water. If the catch proves too heavy, it paddles toward shore with strong wing beats, refusing to release its prize. While fish make up the bulk of its diet, it also takes frogs, turtles, small birds, and carrion. Opportunistic by nature, it will not hesitate to steal prey from other birds, including marabou storks or shoebills, when the chance arises. Beyond its ecological role, the African fish eagle holds deep cultural significance, featured on the national coat of arms of South Sudan. It symbolizes freedom, resilience, and the untamed spirit of Africa itself. In its cry echoes the enduring power of wild landscapes unbroken, watchful, and alive. Silently, another bird arrives. The marabou stork appears only after the heavy footsteps of elephants have faded and the echo of the fish eagle's call has dissolved into stillness. It comes not as a hunter, but as a quiet specialist ready to assume a role that is far from glamorous, yet absolutely essential to life on the Savannah. Standing up to 1.5 meters tall, With a wingspan approaching 2.6 meters and weighing around 9 kilograms, the marabou often appears alone like a solitary statue rising from dry grasslands or lingering at the edges of flooded marshes. Its bare head and neck, deep-set dark eyes, and the large pendulous pouch hanging from its throat give it an unsettling, almost prehistoric presence. This appearance is no accident. The marabou stork is perfectly adapted for a task few creatures are equipped to perform: processing death. It does not chase prey or launch ambushes. Instead, it watches from above, waiting patiently until a white-eared cob, a tiang, or a reedbuck collapses after the strain of migration. With its long, razor-sharp bill, it tears through flesh efficiently, while its exceptional resistance to bacteria allows it to consume carcasses in advanced stages of decay, remains that most scavengers could not endure. In flooded wetlands, marabou storks often move in small groups of 5 to 30 individuals, tracking the great movements of wildlife. They gather in shallow waters where receding floods trap remains left behind by the migration. These sites become feeding hubs, where a single carcass can sustain an entire group for days. Unlike vultures, marabous rarely fight or compete aggressively. They move quietly among the remains, taking what others leave behind. When carrion is scarce, their flexible diet allows them to survive by hunting small fish, frogs, lizards, young snakes, and insects, an adaptability that ensures survival even during lean seasons. During the dry months, when temperatures soar, the marabou relies on a cooling mechanism known as urohydrosis. By releasing liquid waste onto its legs, it cools its body through evaporation, much like water poured onto hot stone. It also limits its activity to dawn and dusk, avoiding the intense heat of midday. In flight, the marabou stork rides rising thermal currents above the wetlands, gliding vast distances without a single wing beat. This energy-efficient travel expands its reach across the landscape. Though its appearance may inspire unease, the marabou fulfills a critical ecological role, reducing the spread of disease by clearing animal remains. In doing so, it serves as the wetland's natural sanitation force, quietly maintaining balance where life and death inevitably meet. As the final rays of sunlight fade across the plains of South Sudan, the savannah appears to settle into rest. But here, the struggle never truly ends. Every species, large or small, has fought through another day against hunger, drought, predators, and fate itself. Each breath taken, each step earned, stands as proof of a natural world locked in a constant contest with itself, brutal, yet undeniably beautiful. South Sudan is more than a wilderness. It is a living testament to the most fundamental instinct on earth, the will to endure. The vast migrations that sweep across these lands, the ingenious strategies used to evade death, and the fierce confrontations that decide who survives and who falls, all form part of an ancient cycle, one that has shaped life in Africa long before human memory began. Yet within this raw grandeur lies a growing responsibility. Climate change, habitat degradation, and expanding human pressure now threaten a balance that is as fragile as it is sacred. In response, conservation efforts across South Sudan and the wider continent strive to protect wildlife, restore ecosystems, and ensure that this timeless dance of life continues for generations to come. Because safeguarding wild animals is about more than protecting species. It is about preserving culture, history, biodiversity, and the very soul of our planet. May this journey serve as a reminder that nature is not merely a spectacle, it is a legacy, and caring for it may be the greatest expression of our humanity. If this journey into the heart of South Sudan's savannah moved you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to keep exploring and sharing the wildest landscapes and the most powerful stories from the animal kingdom.
Woo!
On the wild African savanna, every passing moment is a test of survival. Each breath and every movement becomes a silent contest between hunter and prey, a landscape where instinct is pushed to its absolute limit. There is no room for hesitation and no chance to undo a mistake. A delayed glance or a single misstep can be enough to determine fate. At the heart of this unforgiving land, the lion stands as a symbol of near-absolute authority. Through raw strength, calculated strategy, and precise coordination, it rules the open plains and commands respect from every herd that enters its domain. Yet even these kings are never truly safe. They must constantly defend their position because on the savanna, power is never permanent. This is a world where survival comes at a high cost, where nature reveals its most intense and unfiltered face. A harsh stage in which only those that are strongest, most alert, and quickest to adapt earn the chance to endure. As the first light of morning spreads across the savanna, nature slowly comes alive. Dew settles on the ground, catching the sun in a soft shimmer. Long shadows stretch beneath the trees as herds begin to move. Darkness fades and life takes shape once again. An ancient cycle resumes. In this reborn world, one presence rises above all others, the lion, the undisputed ruler of the plains. The lion's true strength is not built on raw power alone, but on unity. Its reign is supported by family bonds. Its presence commands a quiet authority that stills the open land. This is the lion's domain, where courage is measured not only in battle but in protection, where cubs learn by watching and staying close. A pride is more than a group of lions. It is a structured society guided by unseen rules that determine survival and legacy. At the core of this system stand the lionesses, sisters, mothers, and relentless hunters. They are the foundation of the pride. Together they form a network of cooperation, a living fabric woven from instinct and kinship. A successful hunt belongs to all of them, not just one. A newborn cub is not the responsibility of a single mother, but of the entire pride. Lionesses take turns nursing, guarding, and teaching one another's young. For the cubs, life begins as play. They chase, wrestle, and test their strength unknowingly, preparing for the challenges ahead. These games shape the skills they will one day depend on, but on the savannah, abundance never lasts forever. With each new day, the struggle begins again. The males serve as the guardians of the pride. Their massive frames and thunderous roars act as living barriers against danger. Yet power here is never permanent. Every leader will eventually face a challenger. Young males, once driven away, roam the plains, hardened by hardship and driven by the instinct to claim a future of their own. When they return, the land seems to tremble. The night fills with roaring voices clashing in the darkness. Even kings must fight to keep their crown. In the shadows, hyenas watch. Clever and relentless, they wait for the right moment when lions are weakened after a hunt. Alone they pose little threat, but together they become a tide of endurance and sharp teeth capable of stealing a hard-won meal. Above them, vultures circle endlessly. Silent and patient, they search for signs of weakness, death, and opportunity. Their presence is a reminder that even in victory, lions are never truly alone. Yet not every rival feeds on leftovers. The African buffalo stands as one of the most dangerous opponents on the plains. Massive and unpredictable, with horns like sharpened spears, it can turn a hunter into prey in seconds. Under the blazing heat, buffalo move in powerful herds. For lions, they represent both great reward and deadly risk, a source of survival that demands precision, teamwork, and absolute courage. From a distance, the pride watches in silence, muscles tight and eyes locked. A buffalo is no ordinary target. Its charge can shatter bones, its horns tear through flesh. When the clash begins, chaos erupts. Predator and prey collide in a brutal struggle where every second matters. The lions must work as one, breaking the formation, isolating the vulnerable, and striking with perfect timing. From which country are you watching this video? Let us know in the comments. In the unforgiving African savanna, the spotted hyena has earned its place as one of the most formidable carnivores in the ecosystem. With an evolutionary history stretching back more than 10 million years, this species has followed a distinct path shaped by constant survival pressure. From birth, it is built to endure. A powerful muscular body allows it to combine strength with remarkable stamina, especially during long pursuits. Its sloping posture, often misunderstood as a weakness, is in fact a crucial adaptation. This body structure helps the hyena move efficiently across rough and hostile terrain. Spotted hyenas inhabit a wide range of environments across Africa, from the open plains of East Africa to the semi-arid regions of the Kalahari Desert in Botswana. When night falls, the savanna transforms. The well-known laugh of the hyena is not random noise, as many assume. It is a sophisticated form of communication. Each sound carries meaning, forming an acoustic social map. Every vocalization is unique, allowing clan members to identify one another and understand their position within a complex hierarchy. These calls help summon allies, reinforce status, and maintain order in a harsh yet highly structured society. At the top of this hierarchy stands an alpha female whose authority is absolute. This matriarchal system is not accidental, but the result of millions of years of refined survival strategy. Far from being mere scavengers, spotted hyenas are intelligent and strategic hunters, fully capable of bringing down large prey through coordination and persistence. Their level of cooperation and communication rivals that of some primates. Yet despite their evolutionary success, spotted hyenas face growing challenges. Habitat loss and increasing conflict with humans threaten the future of one of Africa's most adaptable and misunderstood predators. Amid scarcity and relentless heat, lions rise as the dominant predators of the savannah. Their golden coats blend seamlessly with sun-scorched grasslands, providing near-perfect camouflage. The male's thick, imposing mane is more than a symbol of authority. It also offers vital protection during violent confrontations with rivals. Weighing between 150 and 250 kilograms and stretching up to 3 meters in length, the lion is a balance of raw power and agility. Unlike most large cats that live alone, lions form tightly bonded social units known as prides. A single pride may include anywhere from 3 to 30 individuals, with lionesses taking the lead role in hunting. As the dry season tightens its grip, shrinking water sources force wildebeest, zebras, and buffalo to migrate in search of survival. To keep pace, lions expand their hunting grounds, sometimes patrolling territories larger than 160 square kilometers. When night falls over the African plains, the hunt begins. Darkness offers a critical advantage, shielding lions from the punishing daytime heat. Hunting as a team, they rely on complex tactics. Some lionesses drive prey toward hidden ambush points, while others remain concealed, ready to deliver the final strike. Once a kill is made, feeding follows a strict and unforgiving hierarchy. Dominant males assert control and eat first. Yet their role extends beyond privilege. They are essential defenders of the pride. In clashes over food, lions often overpower hyenas. Research suggests that in roughly 60% of these encounters, lions succeed in taking the kill from their rivals. Still, numbers can shift the balance. When hyenas gather in large clans, sometimes 15 to 20 strong, even a powerful pride can be pushed to its limits. This ongoing rivalry plays a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance. Through constant competition, the savannah ensures that only the most skilled, coordinated, and adaptable endure. The African buffalo stands among the most formidable herbivores on the continent, and also among the most relentlessly hunted. Its heavy, curved horns act as a natural shield against lions, while its sheer strength helps safeguard the entire herd. Yet even these ancient defenses can be tested by highly adapted predators that have learned how to exploit weakness and separation. A fully grown bull can reach heights of up to 1.7 meters at the shoulder and weigh more than 700 kilograms. Its physical power is legendary. Stocky, muscular, and notoriously unpredictable, the African buffalo is often regarded as the strongest grazer in Africa. Its dark, coarse coat offers protection from the relentless sun, but survival is closely tied to one vital resource: water. For this reason, buffalo rarely venture more than about 16 kilometers from rivers, lakes, or marshlands. What truly defines the species, however, is its uncompromising system of collective defense. At the first sign of danger, the herd reacts instantly. Calves are pushed toward the center while adults form a slid barrier of muscle and horns, standing shoulder to shoulder, ready to confront any threat head-on. Beneath the broken canopy of the Mambo woodland, a silent presence moves unseen. Its golden coat marked with dark rosettes blends flawlessly with the scattered light filtering through the branches. This is the leopard, a true master of stealth and patience. Across the savannas of Zambia, the leopard claims elusive, solitary territories, rarely revealing itself. Population density remains low, with only 1 to 3 individuals occupying every 100 square kilometers. Among towering mumbombo trees, it moves with calm confidence. Every step is deliberate, every motion almost invisible. Roughly 45 meters away, a lone animal drifts from the safety of its group. The leopard lowers its body, becoming just another shadow in the landscape. It begins to close the gap slowly and methodically. When the distance shrinks to barely 10 meters, its muscles tighten. In a sudden burst of raw power and speed, it launches forward, reaching speeds of up to 58 kilometers per hour. The struggle is swift, but in the wild, a successful hunt does not guarantee peace. Other predators are always watching, ready to steal what they did not earn. Using remarkable strength, the leopard hauls its prey high into the branches of a tree. Far beyond the reach of lions and hyenas, hidden among the leaves, it feeds in sont, secure for now in its elevated refuge. Across the vast open plains, tens of thousands of blue wildebeest surge forward, continuing a journey as old as the land itself. Their great migration stands among the most extraordinary natural events on Earth. Built for endurance rather than comfort, the blue wildebeest is the product of millions of years of evolutionary refinement, perfectly adapted for long-distance travel across harsh terrain. Both males and females carry strong curved horns that serve a dual-purpose protection against predators and a visual marker of status within the herd. At birth, calves are covered in a yellow-brown coat that blends seamlessly with the dry grasses, offering crucial camouflage in their most vulnerable days. Within just a few months, this coloring fades into the distinctive steel blue-gray that defines the species. Wildebeest are most active during the cool hours of early morning and late afternoon. When danger approaches, they are capable of reaching speeds of nearly 80 kilometers per hour. Yet speed alone does not ensure survival. Faced with a threat, the herd instinctively tightens into a dense formation, responding to an alarm signal rooted deep in their ancient lineage, a collective defense shaped by countless generations of survival. Meanwhile, in South Luangwa, the Thornycroft's giraffe rises as a living symbol of the region's ecological uniqueness. Shaped by geographic isolation, this rare subspecies has followed its own evolutionary path over thousands of years. Tall and slender, it is instantly recognizable by its long, graceful neck and a coat patterned with irregular dark brown patches. No two giraffes share the same markings. Each pattern is as individual as a fingerprint. When danger appears, the giraffe becomes a natural lookout. Its elevated head scans the landscape, serving as an early warning system visible from great distances. And if a threat draws too close, it can deliver a powerful kick strong enough to deter even a lion. In Kafue National Park, the Southeast African cheetah stands among the most extraordinary predators on Earth. Capable of exceeding speeds of 100 kilometers per hour, it holds the title of the fastest land mammal alive. Its evolutionary roots stretch back more than 2.5 million years, making it one of the most widespread cheetah lineages. The open grasslands and savannas of sub-Saharan Africa form its natural domain. The cheetah's body is a triumph of evolution. A slim frame, elongated limbs, and semi-retractable claws work together to maximize speed and grip. Unlike most big cats, it does not rely on darkness. This is a daytime hunter active during the cool hours of dawn and dusk to avoid confrontations with larger, more dangerous competitors. Even so, speed alone does not guarantee success. Only about half of its hunting attempts end with a capture. Each chase tests both acceleration and endurance. Hidden within tall grass, the cheetah advances silently until it is close enough. Then in a sudden burst of power, it launches forward, reaching top speed in less than 3 seconds. Its remarkable pace is not driven by legs alone. For the cheetah, running borders on flight. With every stride comes a moment of suspension, a brief instant when its body lifts entirely from the ground. Its flexible spine acts like a living spring, stretching and recoiling to propel it across the savannah in a series of controlled leaps, closer to gliding than to ordinary running. As the gap closes, agility becomes its final weapon. A precise swipe of the paw, followed by a targeted bite to the throat, brings the pursuit to an end. Yet the challenge continues. The extreme exertion pushes the cheetah's body to its thermal limit. It cannot feed immediately and must rest for 5 to 10 minutes to recover and cool down. Unlike the lion, which rules through raw strength, or the hyena, which thrives on collective endurance, the cheetah relies on a single decisive advantage: speed. It must eat quickly because even after a successful hunt, it remains one of the most vulnerable to predators on the African savannah. As the first light of sunrise spreads across the vast plains of Kafue National Park, a pack of African wild dogs prepares for the hunt. For centuries, this species has refined one of the most effective cooperative hunting strategies in the animal kingdom, turning teamwork into its greatest strength. The oldest known fossils of the African wild dog, dating back nearly 200,000 years, were discovered in Kafse Cave in Israel, revealing a long and complex evolutionary history. One of its most remarkable traits is its specialized dentition teeth, proportionally larger than those of any other carnivore, perfectly adapted for tearing flesh with exceptional efficiency. They live in tightly bonded social groups, typically ranging from 2 to 27 individuals. Within these packs, a clear hierarchy exists, often led by dominant females. Their hunting success depends on a precise balance of speed, coordination, and strategy, where every member plays a vital role. African wild dogs pursue their prey relentlessly, pushing it toward exhaustion before delivering the final attack. They move in silence at first, then suddenly unleash a burst of energy reaching speeds of up to 66 kilometers per hour. What truly sets them apart is their stamina. They can sustain a chase for anywhere between 10 and 60 minutes. Today, the African wild dog is listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List. With an estimated global population of only around 6,600 individuals remaining in the wild, every hunt and every pack stands as a powerful symbol of resilience in the face of an uncertain future. In the murky waters of the Zambezi River, a colossal predator lies hidden in absolute silence. This is the Nile crocodile, the largest reptile in Africa. Unlike many other reptiles, it does not need to feed every day. Thanks to an exceptionally efficient digestive system, it can survive for weeks without eating. Lower Zambezi National Park is one of its key strongholds. In this environment, these silent hunters rely as much on overwhelming strength as on extraordinary patience. A A crocodile can remain perfectly motionless for hours, even days, waiting for the precise moment to strike. When an unsuspecting animal approaches the water's edge, there is no warning. In a single instant, the surface erupts in a violent splash. The crocodile lunges forward, its jaws snapping shut with deadly accuracy, dragging its victim beneath the water. Escape is nearly impossible. With a bite force exceeding 22,000 newtons, the Nile crocodile possesses one of the most powerful bites in the entire animal kingdom. Often called the jewel of Namibia, Etosha National Park is home to 4 of Africa's iconic Big Five: the elephant, lion, leopard, and the critically endangered black rhinoceros. In 2024, Namibia endured its most severe drought in more than a century. Across Etosha, natural waterholes dried up completely, leaving hippos stranded in cracked, hardened mud. But in early 2025, the rains finally returned, bringing renewal with them. Grasslands turned green once more, and animals such as giraffes and rare species like the black-faced impala took advantage of this brief period of abundance. Between May and October, however, the dry season reclaims its dominance. The heat becomes relentless. Daytime temperatures often range between 35 and 48 degrees Celsius. Natural water sources nearly vanish. As water grows scarce, herbivores are forced to gather around the few remaining oases. Their concentration inevitably draws predators, turning these watering points into focal zones of tension and confrontation. The black rhinoceros is a massive and imposing animal, standing up to 1.5 meters tall and weighing close to 1,400 kilograms. It carries 2 horns that grow continuously, vital tools for both defense and dominance. Despite its name, its skin is not black but a muted gray-brown. Its pointed, prehensile upper lip allows it to skillfully strip leaves from even the thorniest bushes. Remarkably adapted to arid conditions, the black rhino can go several days without drinking, extracting most of its moisture from the vegetation it consumes. While its eyesight is poor, its world is ruled by scent. For a largely solitary animal, communication is written directly onto the land. What appear to be simple dung piles are in reality shared scent markers, a vast archive of chemical signals embedded in the dust. Each scent tells a story: who passed through, their strength, their intentions, and even their reproductive status. It is a silent dialogue among all who inhabit this ancient landscape, an invisible network that allows them to navigate and communicate in isolation. Even so, the dry season remains a constant trial. Artificial water holes such as the one at Ocaucuejo become critical lifelines. Here, even the typically solitary black rhino must tolerate the close presence of other animals. As night falls and floodlights glow softly, its silhouette emerges. The heavy body advances steadily toward the water, silently asserting territorial authority. By 2023, Namibia was home to more than 2,200 black rhinos, with over 70% found within Etosha National Park alone. Yet such a high concentration also increases vulnerability. Despite continuous ranger patrols, GPS tracking, drone surveillance, and preventive dehorning programs, the black rhinoceros still faces a threat greater than any natural predator: relentless human greed. On Africa's wild savannas, conflict never truly ends. It only changes form when the dust settles and silence returns to the land. It becomes clear that every breath and every movement has been part of a constant struggle between hunter and hunted. A relentless contest driven purely by instinct. Here there are no heroes and no villains. There are only lives pushing through one more day beneath an unforgiving sun. strong may fall, the vulnerable sometimes slip away, and survival is often decided in a matter of seconds. In this untamed world, even the most feared predator can become prey after a single mistake. The savannah moves on indifferent to victory or loss. Because in Africa, to live is to fight, and every sunrise signals the beginning of another trial where life is defended until the very last breath. If you find this content powerful and meaningful, don't forget to like and subscribe to Beast Call Nature and join us as we continue exploring the raw and authentic face of the wild world. Across the endless plains of Africa, where apex predators rule and the rhythm of the wild hums through the air, a parallel world exists. A discrete miniature universe no less intense than the one dominated by giants. It is the domain of the small warriors, beings whose modest size hides the fierce struggles they endure each day. Among the sun-baked grasses that sway with the wind, these tiny survivors remain on constant alert. Any rustle might reveal danger. Any flicker of movement could signal an attack. In a wilderness where thirst, hunger, and split-second decisions determine life or death, survival becomes a remarkable achievement. Their only chance is to move with accuracy, think quickly, and adapt with astonishing speed in a world that never forgives mistakes. Each step is a gamble, each second an unseen contest for life, each morning a new triumph earned through determination. Because in Africa, even the smallest inhabitants must rise as fighters, confronting hardships that would challenge even the mightiest. They do not possess overwhelming strength or unmatched speed, but they showcase something far more extraordinary: an unwavering determination and a spirit built to endure. Across the endless African savanna, where life depends on fragile moments of protection and constant vigilance, three species rise to prominence through remarkable survival methods. The ostrich, towering sovereign of the grasslands, needs no wings to master its domain. Fueled by powerful strides and ever-watchful eyes, it races across the plains at incredible speeds, leaving predators far behind. Meanwhile, African wild dogs demonstrate the power of unity. Their packs function with exceptional coordination, carrying out hunting strategies in which cooperation and timing determine the success of the entire group. Hidden beneath the Earth's surface, nimble mongooses face threats far beyond their size. Living in tightly bonded colonies, they confront their world with intelligence and bravery, reminding us that true resilience often comes from community and determination. Together, these animals shape the vibrant tapestry of the wild. Despite the challenges of their harsh surroundings, they flourish, each chase, each movement, and each instinctive decision adding another chapter to the unfolding story of nature. With the moon still glowing overhead, faint rustles begin to stir within the low shrubs. The quiet of early morning soon gives way to the rhythm of awakening hunters. African wild dogs rise from their resting places, alert and focused as they prepare for a new day on the savanna. They may not possess the size or power of larger predators, but their strength comes from their unmatched cooperation. These skilled carnivores are celebrated for their coordinated hunting style. Unlike big cats that rely on stealth or solitary ambushes, wild dogs hunt as cohesive units, with packs often forming large, tight-knit groups. This strong social system is the key to their remarkable success. Their slender, athletic bodies and long limbs are built for long-distance pursuit, able to maintain impressive speeds for extended periods. They rank among the continent's most relentless hunters. Their sharp hearing and keen sense of smell help them detect prey across vast distances, usually focusing on medium-sized antelopes such as impalas and gazelles. Their hunting strategy is highly organized. The pack splits into smaller teams, approaching the prey from several angles to prevent escape. Throughout the pursuit, individuals rotate positions to maintain pressure and wear down their target. This technique results in one of the highest hunting success rates in the animal kingdom. What truly distinguishes them is their devotion to cooperation. Food is shared with great care. Pups, injured members, and older individuals eat first, while strong adults wait their turn. This rare behavior among predators strengthens pack unity and increases survival for all members. Their communication system is sophisticated, relying on high-pitched calls, varied vocalizations, and expressive gestures. Howls bring scattered members back together, while subtle movements of ears and tails help prevent conflict and maintain harmony. In a landscape full of challenges, staying coordinated is vital. Even with their efficiency, wild dogs constantly face competition from lions and hyenas. These rivals often attempt to steal their meals, forcing the pack to consume food quickly or retreat. When confronted with overwhelming opposition, wild dogs prefer to withdraw and conserve their strength for the next hunt. A reminder that wisdom and teamwork are often better than confrontation. Life for African wild dogs is a blend of endurance, intelligence, and unity. Their unique social structure and highly effective hunting strategies ensure they continue to thrive in the vast African plains. Their pack hierarchy is one of the most intricate among mammal species. Far more than a group of hunters, they form a tightly connected family with clearly defined roles. Leadership lies with the alpha pair, usually the only breeding members. When pups are born, the entire pack becomes their protector. During the first months, the young remain hidden in dens while adults provide food and guard them with unwavering dedication. For African wild dogs, the well-being of the pups comes first. After each hunt, adult members return to the den and regurgitate food, ensuring the youngsters receive essential nutrients. This generosity is not limited to the young. Injured or aging individuals are also fed, a behavior rarely seen among other predators. Such actions reinforce group bonds and help the entire pack endure the challenges of the wilderness. Territorial defense is another crucial responsibility. To minimize encounters with lions and hyenas, the pack regularly surveys its territory, leaving scent marks to signal its presence. When a rival approaches, the dogs respond collectively, using alarm calls and coordinated movements to deter any threat. Their ability to adapt sets them apart from many other carnivores. Instead of relying on stealth like big cats, they depend on stamina and synchronized effort. When food becomes scarce, they shift their strategy, pursuing smaller animals or taking advantage of carcasses left behind by other hunters. Communication is the backbone of their cooperation. High-frequency sounds guide their movements during hunts. Howls bring distant members back together, and subtle body language such as the position of the ears and tail helps maintain harmony within the group. Despite their impressive hunting success, African wild dogs must constantly overcome obstacles. Fierce competition from lions and hyenas, along with the need to cover vast distances in search of prey, requires perseverance and unity. Even so, Their exceptional teamwork and social intelligence allow them to remain one of the savanna's most effective and resilient predators. In the harsh and dusty landscapes of Kenya, the honey badger stands as a small yet deeply respected creature. One misstep here can make you a lion's feast, a hyena's target, or a leopard's toy. Mellivora capensis, often hailed as the undisputed ruler of the savannah, is living proof that courage, boldness, and sheer ferocity can elevate even the smallest animal into legend. With its stocky build, short limbs, rounded head, intense gaze, and steady gait, it may look harmless, but don't be fooled. Beneath that dark, rugged coat lies a natural shield skin 4 to 6 millimeters thick, remarkably flexible, and nearly impervious to lion bites, porcupine quills, leopard claws, and even the lethal strike of a cobra. If trapped in a predator's jaws, it can twist inside its own skin to counterattack. It may sound like a scene from an action movie, yet this is everyday life for the honey badger. It is a true lone survivor. It depends entirely on its iron will. No pack, no partner, no assistance. Every day, it travels 10 to 20 kilometers across sand, rocky terrain, scrublands, and riverbeds in search of food. It feeds on rodents, reptiles, birds, eggs, insects, larvae, deadly snakes, beehives, and even decomposing carcasses that it digs up and consumes like a fresh meal. It can withstand swarms of African bees while tearing into honey and larvae without hesitation. Its legendary toughness extends far beyond its thick skin. The honey badger is renowned for surviving bites from some of Africa's deadliest snakes. A cobra, a gaboon viper, or a boomslang may inject its venom, but the badger rarely reacts. And if it collapses, it revives within minutes and finishes the encounter by eating the snake that attacked it. Since no human could endure such venom, researchers have tried to understand its secret. One explanation is that the honey badger carries a specialized nerve receptor that neutralizes the venom's effects. Simply put, for this animal, the poison doesn't do enough damage. Much of its time is spent fighting or raiding beehives. When threatened, it becomes wildly aggressive. Even leopards hesitate before engaging it, knowing that once it lashes out, the confrontation becomes chaotic, furious, and completely unpredictable. Documented encounters show two leopards wrestling a honey badger, only to retreat into the trees shortly afterward as the badger snarled at them from below, almost as if warning them never to forget. The female digs a den and, after a rough mating ritual, gives birth to 1 to 3 cubs. She spends months teaching them vital survival skills, how to dig effectively, avoid venomous strikes, and break into hives without injuring themselves. By their first year, the young have transformed into fierce replicas of their mother, prepared to face the wild as miniature fighters. Thus, the cycle of resilience goes on. In the harsh realm of the African wilderness, the honey badger represents pure rebellion, fearless energy, and unwavering toughness. It may not boast great size or speed, yet its refusal to surrender in any fight has turned it into a global icon celebrated not for beauty, but for its wild, unstoppable spirit. If wildlife action movies existed, this creature wouldn't require a stunt performer. The most dramatic fight scenes in nature seem modeled after its true behavior. Our story begins with a massive beehive dangling from an acacia tree under the blazing Savannah sun. Thousands of bees swirl around it as sunbirds flutter and monkeys inspect the scene. The steady buzz, the far-off bird calls, and the warm breeze carrying the scent of dry grass create a striking and lively natural tableau. However, this tranquil moment hides a brewing conflict. Beneath the sun-scorched grass, another drama unfolds. African wild dogs, the stealthy hunters of the plains, move forward with unwavering focus. Before daylight fully arrives, a well-known character of the savannah has already begun its mission. The honey badger, small, rugged, and astonishingly bold. In this landscape, size means little when matched against sheer resilience. Tracking the scent of a wild hive drifting between the brittle grass, its hypersensitive nose searches the ground. Today's target lies within a hollow old tree, where a fresh swarm of bees has started to build their colony. What the honey badger doesn't realize is that a wild dog pack is already close by. What follows is not a normal hunt, but a spontaneous battle where no one intends to give way. As the badger reaches the trunk and begins tearing at the bark, one of the dogs detects its presence and alerts the group. In an instant, several wild dogs surround the honey badger, forming a tight arc. With curled lips and piercing eyes, they prepare to overpower the smaller intruder. But the honey badger spins around and snarls defiantly, showing absolute fearlessness. Its crushing bite, razor-sharp claws, and hardened instincts have enabled it to kill venomous snakes and fend off lion cubs. It twists to the side and clamps onto a dog's leg, making it recoil, just as another dog lunges. But the pack has the advantage of teamwork, biting from the rear, distracting from the front, and launching attacks from all directions. The honey badger begins to falter. Though its dense coat absorbs many blows, it cannot withstand everything. The struggle continues fiercely for minutes. Eventually, the honey badger must retreat, overwhelmed by the pack's cooperation and numbers. It digs quickly and vanishes into the brush, relying on an ancient survival strategy inherited from its lineage. Rather than pursuing the retreating badger, the wild dogs turn back to remark their territory, a display of authority over the land they control. Though the encounter ends without casualties, it highlights the ruthless reality of the savannah, where every skirmish is a battle for survival and even the youngest animals must learn to stand their ground. In this realm, both wild dogs and honey badgers build their own lasting reputations. Following the intense confrontation, the honey badger vanishes into the thick grass, yet its journey is far from over. Beneath its fierce, rugged exterior is a lone and determined mother guided by instinct. She must raise her young in an environment where danger is constant. Honey badgers are solitary creatures. They do not rely on social groups. Their breeding period is flexible, but often occurs when temperatures rise and food is abundant. The female produces 1 or 2 babies in a secluded burrow, either one she excavates or an abandoned hideout she repurposes. The gestation period ranges from 6 to 10 weeks. Unlike the African wild dog, which benefits from group support. The honey badger mother must rely solely on herself. Her burrows, deep and narrow, provide crucial protection against larger predators. The newborns arrive blind, furless, and highly vulnerable, depending entirely on their mother for survival. They stay inside the den for the first 2 to 3 months of life. Throughout the night, she ventures out to hunt, bringing back everything from venomous snakes to rodents and insects. Despite her reputation as a fierce fighter, she is also an exceptionally dedicated caretaker. To keep predators from tracing her scent, she frequently relocates the burrow. As the cubs become mobile, she teaches them essential skills: digging, hunting, and avoiding threats. For a creature of their size, investing more than a year in raising offspring is remarkable. This prolonged care is one of the traits that contributes to the honey badger's legendary status. If danger approaches while her young are unprotected, she will confront it with fearless aggression. Her fierce maternal instinct has allowed the species to endure for millennia, making the honey badger a symbol of bravery, resourcefulness, and exceptional parental strength in the animal kingdom. Across the African savannah, some of the smallest residents stand out not through force, but through cleverness and unity, the mongooses. Swift and resourceful, these animals flourish in a harsh environment by relying on teamwork and well-developed social behavior. Despite their modest size, only 30 to 50 centimeters long, their cooperation makes them exceptional survivors. Mongooses form tightly knit groups where each member has a specific function. Colonies often include around 10 individuals and operate like miniature organized settlements. Certain members act as lookouts, while others focus on finding food, caring for the young, or maintaining the tunnels that serve as shelters. This structured approach keeps the colony prepared for whatever threats arise. Aerial predators such as eagles and hawks pose a constant threat. To stay safe, one mongoose always stands guard from a high vantage point, ready to issue an alarm call. When danger approaches, the entire group instantly scatters into the nearest burrow or hides in thick grass. This alert system is essential to their continued survival. Their habitat includes dry grasslands, low vegetation zones, and areas near termite mounds or abandoned burrows. These environments offer safety from larger predators and protection from fluctuating temperatures. Throughout the day, mongooses roam their territory in search of food before retreating to their shelters at dusk. Their menu varies widely. Insects, small animals, eggs, and fruit. But what makes them truly iconic is their ability to challenge venomous snakes. Using rapid movements and precise timing, they avoid lethal strikes and aim directly at the snake's head. This skill makes them formidable opponents of dangerous species such as cobras and black mambas. Mongooses communicate using a mix of sounds and physical signals. Short chirps help individuals locate one another, while high-pitched calls warn of potential threats. These communication methods maintain group cohesion and enable quick, synchronized reactions. Beyond cooperative hunting and mutual defense, mongooses also work together to raise their young. The pups are tended by adult females who rotate duties, feeding, guarding, and teaching them basic survival skills. This shared caregiving strengthens the group and enhances the survival rate of the next generation. Even with the harsh realities of the savannah, mongooses have managed to flourish, relying on their quick thinking, agility, and highly organized social groups. Their ability to combine coordination with strategic behavior makes them one of nature's most impressive models of adaptation. Breeding within mongoose colonies follows a finely structured routine. Unlike many animals where the survival of the young falls solely on the parents, mongoose pups are raised by the entire colony. During the breeding season, the group works together to ensure that the newborns have the greatest chance of reaching adulthood. After a pregnancy of about 60 to 70 days, litters of 2 to 6 arrive blind and extremely vulnerable. They spend their first days hidden underground, watched over not only by their mother but also by designated helpers who take turns guarding and tending to them. This protection continues beyond the safety of the burrow. When the rest of the colony heads out to forage, several adults stay behind, acting as sentinels to keep the pups safe from threats such as jackals or birds of prey. As the youngsters grow more confident, they begin venturing just outside the den while adults supervise closely. Each outing is part of their education, teaching them how to locate safe food sources, how to approach dangerous prey like venomous snakes or scorpions, and how to interpret alarm calls that signal danger. By the time they reach roughly 10 months old, the young mongooses are ready to contribute to the group. Some become swift hunters. Others specialize in lookout duties or caring for the next generation of pups. This continuous cycle of support and instruction keeps the colony strong and adaptive. Their cooperative way of life proves that, in the wild, unity can be just as essential as strength. Despite their small size, mongooses rank among the savanna's most capable survivors due to their teamwork and intelligence. The African savanna is a land of constant trials, a place where only the most adaptable species thrive. The ostrich dominates the plains with speed and power, while African wild dogs rely on advanced pack coordination to endure fierce competition. Mongooses, though small, show that strategy and cooperation can achieve remarkable success. Each species contributes to the stability of the ecosystem. The endurance of ostriches, the collaborative nature of wild dogs, and the disciplined structure of mongoose colonies reveal how life survives through many different paths. Across this vast landscape, the struggle for existence is unending. Yet through agility, cooperation, and well-honed strategy, these animals continue to thrive, proving that even in the most unforgiving habitats, life always pushes forward. With the first rays of dawn, the savanna slowly stirs to life as warm light spreads over the golden grasslands. Through the amber glow, the elegant outlines of ostriches appear tall, confident figures striding across the open plains. Though they lack the ability to fly, these massive birds dominate the ground with a remarkable combination of power and unmatched speed. Ostriches, the world's tallest birds, can tower at more than 2.7 meters and weigh up to 150 kilograms. But their most impressive trait is the strength of their legs, which allows them to sprint at nearly 70 kilometers per hour, an essential skill in a landscape full of predators. Even lions, experts in stealth attacks, often fail to catch them once they burst into full speed. Their kicks are equally formidable, capable of inflicting serious injury on an attacker. paired with their extraordinary vision. This makes the ostrich one of the most well-adapted animals of the African plains. Their eyes, the largest among terrestrial creatures, measure several centimeters and help them detect threats from far away. When they travel in groups, ostriches contribute significantly to the balance of the ecosystem. They often coexist with antelopes and zebras, forming a natural alliance while mammals rely on smell and hearing. Ostriches use their sharp eyesight to stand guard. They are usually the first to sense danger, raising their heads high to alert nearby species. As the sun climbs higher into the sky, the ground stretches with long shadows and the heat intensifies. For ostriches, this shift is simply part of their lifestyle. Well adapted to dry climates, they manage their body temperature effectively, moving toward open spaces where the wind helps cool them. At the center of the group, a dominant male monitors his surroundings. During breeding season, he must defend and define his territory. The females watch as he performs his striking courtship ritual, spreading his wings and swaying rhythmically to capture their attention. A female chooses a mate not only for his strength but also for his stamina and his ability to safeguard their future brood. The pair then prepares the nest, beginning a new chapter in the cycle of life on the demanding savanna. Instead of building structures in trees, ostriches create a shallow depression in the soil, where the females lay large eggs that can weigh up to 1.4 kilograms each. Their thick shells offer protection from physical impact, though predators may still find opportunities. During the day, the female remains nearby, her gray feathers blending seamlessly with the landscape. When night falls, the male keeps watch, his dark plumage helping him stay hidden. If a jackal or hyena approaches, he will face the threat head-on. After around 6 weeks, the chicks break through their shells. Small and delicate, they instinctively stay close to the adults for protection. Their first days are the most dangerous, as the savannah can be unforgiving, but under the constant supervision of the parents and the support of the group, they stand a chance to grow and eventually roam the plains with confidence. When the sky glows red at sunset, the ostriches settle in for another night in the African wilderness, a place where only the resilient survive. Despite the challenges, these majestic birds continue to thrive, proving that even without wings for flight, they are superbly equipped to hold their place atop the natural world. As twilight settles over the African plains, the land of towering giants grows still, but the realm of the tiny survivors remains alive and alert. Their small frames carry the marks of unseen battles. Their eyes reflect the harsh lessons of another day endured, and their spirits weathered by the wilderness continue to shine with an unbreakable determination. They may not command territories or stand atop the food chain, but they achieve something far greater, the simple yet profound triumph of surviving one more day in an environment that demands constant bravery. Through their swift dashes, their precise evasions, and their sharp instincts for finding food and shelter, these miniature warriors prove that greatness is not defined by strength or size, but by the courage to meet the challenges of the wild head-on. If this journey through Africa's untamed landscapes has moved you, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. Your support allows us to continue uncovering and sharing the most remarkable stories of the natural world. Become part of Wild Call Nature TV and continue the adventure by our side.